trials might include the use of an expert witness. These are witnesses that demonstrate an expertise in a specific skill set, training, experience, or educational field of study.
According to the Federal Rules of Evidence, Article 7, there are specific guidelines for how to admit these witnesses as experts into court proceedings. If done correctly, it allows those witnesses to avoid various hearsay, opinion, and/or speculation objections.
For example, asking a grandmother how fast is too fast to drive down the street in their neighborhood would inspire a different response from a crash scene investigator with extensive experience in assessing car crashes caused by speeding. The grandmother's response would elicit a hearsay opinion or a speculation objection, while the crash scene investigator would be allowed to answer the question because of their extensive expertise in that area.
It's important to note that most expert witnesses don't have a connection to the people involved in the trial, but do have a strong connection to the content being discussed. Their purpose is to bring clarity to complex information so the trier of fact can best understand the details needed to make an informed decision. Since the trier of fact or jury can only consider evidence admitted during court proceedings and not research information on their own, experts become an important component to the testimony offered for consideration.
For a witness to be considered by the court as an expert, they have to go through a process where attorneys on both sides ask questions on their area of expertise. Once that process concludes, the judge will rule on whether that person will be allowed to testify as an expert or not. If the judge concludes they are not an expert, they would step down from the witness stand and not testify.
Here are steps to use to qualify a witness as an expert. Step 1. Lay the foundation for the court on the witness's area of expertise. Be sure to highlight the areas you're wanting the court to recognize. You want your witness to look as highly credible as possible in their intended field.
Step 2. Make a request to the judge to qualify the witness as an expert in the area of, state the specific area. Remember, just because a person might be qualified in a field, for example, education, it does not make them qualified in every aspect of that field. A high school math teacher would not be able to credibly testify to the inner workings of an elementary school art history class.
Step 3. Opposing counsel can examine the witness in an attempt to disprove the witness's area of expertise or discredit their claims. They can drill them on their educational background, credibility, or their publishings, or other areas of weaknesses that might cause the court to dismiss their claims of expertise in the field they are attempting to prove.
Step 4. After opposing counsel has had a chance to question the witness, the judge will rule on whether the witness is allowed to testify or not as an expert.
Lastly, if allowed to testify, ask the witness questions about the case. If not accepted as an expert, the witness would step down and their day in court is done. Good afternoon. Can you please state your name and title for the court?
Yes, my name is Dr. Reagan and I'm a crime scene investigator.
How long have you worked as a crash investigator?
For over 17 years now.
And what did you do before you were a crash scene investigator?
Started my career as a state trooper. Was a state trooper for about 5 years and then got promoted to the rank of captain. Was a captain for 2 years before I moved over to the Texas Department of Transportation as a crime scene investigator.
Great. Do you have any advanced degrees?
Yes, I received my undergraduate degree from Baylor University with a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, and then got my master's from MIT in Advanced Analytics, and then I received my doctorate from Harvard in crime scene investigation.
Excellent. Have you written any articles regarding traffic safety during your tenure at the Department of Transportation?
I've written several. The most recent was for the Dallas Morning News on the relation between the pandemic and car crash fatalities.
Your Honor, at this time we move to admit Dr. Reagan as an expert in the area of car crash fatalities during the pandemic.
Your Honor, permission to examine this witness.
Go ahead.
Dr. Reagan, you hold a doctorate in crime scene investigations, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
But not in the medical field, is that right?
That's correct.
In fact, you have no experience with the scientific study of human bodies, do you? You've never taken a human anatomy class, conducted surgery on a person, or had to work in an ER unit facing a life or death issue, have you?
No, I have not.
In fact, most of your professional career has been spent behind a desk and not actually in the field. Is that right?
Most of my career is spent in the field working fatality crashes.
But not in the medical capacity, isn't that right?
That is correct.
Your Honor, this witness is not qualified to give opinions concerning the field of car crash fatalities during the pandemic.